What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. If you live on the East Coast, it's either been super rainy or it's been super cold to the point that the wind hurts your face. You know what I'm saying? I've been having this weird, like, I don't know how to describe it, like this weird, like dryness in my throat. For some odd reason, when it's winter outside, it's disgusting. This is the classified chili and cornbread weather. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like what Mother Nature is doing. If you live on the upper East Coast, like in the DMV area, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm out here in the state of Maryland, we about to get slapped with ice storm. I don't know how I feel about that. I already got to deal with the immense amount of salt that it has saturated my auntie car. I don't know. It's not really the most idealistic situation. But you know what I'm saying? I'm happy and blessed to have a wheel on the road at the end of the day. So we're back. This is episode 2 of season 3. Hopefully that you guys are able to engage, settle in, kick your shoes off, throw on your favorite pair of Ghost Red joggers, and if you could do me a little bit better, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna drop the intro real quick.
Threw my ancestors in the ocean. Now we became the new wave, and we're about to drown this system. Every time I go in, every time I go in, every time I go in, boy, I'm jamming. Every time I go in, every time I go in, every time I go in, boy, I'm jamming. I'm a kid, I'm a kid, I'm a kid, boy, I'm jamming. I'm a kid, I'm a kid, I'm a kid, boy, I'm jamming.
Welcome everybody to the Kid Casper podcast. I'm your gracious, beautiful, blessed, beloved black host, the kid that they call Casper. The KID in Kid Casper stands for King Bell. That the melanin reject me as I am, as long as he is still relevant. This is your first time tuning in and engaging me in my black skin. You know what I'm saying? Hello, I'm that quirky brown skinned kid that they call Casper. I'm a Christian raptivist. Yes, rapper / activist. I love Jesus, but I'm super far from a pacifist. You know what I'm saying? Graphic designer, clothing apparel owner. No, you will not get a full view of my outfit because we are wearing sweatpants. And, you know, in the spirit of what's happening in the Christian hip hop space, everybody just sit down. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just stay on their butts with their clothes on. I think we just need to just do that. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for tuning in today. This is hopefully I sound good. Hopefully I look good. You know, I just got out the shower. So I'm a little bit ashy at this point in time, unfortunately. So hopefully I'm not, you know, like as I just described as my vehicle having all this salt saturated. You know what I'm saying? The Bible calls us to be salty and lit, but right now I just feel kind of crusty and dark skinned. I don't know how I feel about it. Other people might say I'm not dark skinned. We're not going to argue about that. If you want to argue, sign up for the Patreon. That's besides the point. Anyway, guys, my guest this evening, this is somebody that I would say like I've been intrigued by, somebody I've followed closely through the years. This is a fellow disciple of Christ, not only a fellow CHH rapper. You know, he's a father first and foremost. He's a husband. He's a black business. You know what I'm saying? We don't call them small business owners because we don't put small work to manage our business. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, y'all might know this brother as AP. Some of y'all might know him as A or Aaron, or I don't know what other nicknames anybody can call him. I mean, for all I know, his aunties might have a different nickname for him. But everybody, if you could please welcome to the stage, to the screen, to your living rooms, to your cars that you're probably parked in the Target parking lot, everybody, Aaron Patterson. How you doing today, brother?
What it is. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? Y'all doing good? I know I'm doing good. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm just getting settled in. You know, we were trying to get the sound and everything figured out. I never realized, not only as technology advances, they try to hide how to work the advanced technology. So that was interesting nonetheless, but we got it all on and popping. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
How about you, brother? How you doing today?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored. It could be worse, but I'm breathing. I got a beautiful family, so I'm gonna count that as a W. You know what I mean? I'm gonna count that as a W.
Right.
How you doing, man? How you doing today?
I'm like I said, man, I'm doing good. And I also appreciate, I just wanted to say, like, I feel like this is like this black man telepathy of drip, how to like work on and stuff. I saw your post the other day, I think it was on Instagram, where you had like the full sweatsuit. And I was like, is this brother wearing white shoes with a colored sweatsuit? And I was like, for me, I felt like there was a spiritual connection that was happening. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, we're wearing white shoes with the sweatsuits. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
That's the new little line that just dropped. We got some sweatsuits that just dropped. BreakTheCycleGear.com. Shameless plug. BreakTheCycleGear.com. But yeah, that's my favorite color. We got the burgundy joint. So I was like, I gotta take that. I gotta rock that. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
We gonna definitely get into that, brother. We're gonna definitely get into that. So this is, I would say, we've had a couple of exchanges. I've either, interacted and engaged with your podcast and like, social media, and we talked here and there, but this is like the first time that we've ever been able to have dialogue, share a space together, break bread, with who we bake it with, you know what I'm saying? So if you could give like an elevator's pitch to who Aaron Patterson is. Who is Aaron Patterson? Tell that to the people today, sir.
Man, Aaron Patterson. First off, I'm a son of God. I'm a son of God first. I'm a family man, entrepreneur, and just like I'm the type of person that I just want to see people be set free. So from where I came from, a lot of people don't make it out or reach their potential. So like my life mission is like to pour into people and see them be who God created them to be. That's me in a nutshell, man. I just want to see people win on every area, like family, financial area. I want to see people win because I know what it feels like to be down, and it don't feel good. You know what I mean? So
yeah, not even that. You got one of the biggest smiles of anybody I know down south for somebody. I'm like, this man, is he like not so much that they like you got big teeth or anything like that.
I got big teeth, big lips,
and then the dimples, the jawline, and everything. Like God took his time with you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
the only reason I bagged my wife. Like I ain't cute. I just had a nice smile. You know what I mean? So she couldn't resist the smile.
I feel that, dog. So for my next question is before we kind of get into like this dialogue and everything. This is always a super intense question. I always ask people. As I don't know if you've ever watched my podcast before. Have you ever engaged with my?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Okay. So hopefully you know what's coming next. So my first super intense question is: if you had to pick a favorite Disney princess, my brother, what would that favorite Disney princess be, dog? Today,
is Mulan Disney?
Yeah, she's Disney. I don't know if she's a princess necessarily.
I mean, like, what's my options?
I mean, like whatever you want to. I don't know if you're breaking any rules at the same time. Can I?
I'm gonna just go with Mulan.
Okay, that I mean, like the internet says yes, so that I mean, I guess that's
gang.
Fine,
I'm going with Mulan. Gang.
Gotcha. Yes, she is apparently.
Thank you. Okay, gotcha. Mulan. Okay, bet.
Gotcha. And my next, this will kind of let me know either how much cooler you are than me or if we are equally yoked on this level. If you had to pick a starter 6 Pokemon set, what starter 6 are you going with?
So my favorite 6 Pokemon.
Sure, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you had to go against the Elite Four.
Of course, Pikachu.
Okay.
Charizard. Squirtle. Jigglypuff. It's a tough question, bro.
Come on, you got 2 more for me, dog.
I'm drawing blanks right now. Oh. It's been a while. I'm not gonna cap. I'm drawing blanks right now. I guess I give you starting 4. I can't remember the other ones right now. But I used to be like knee deep in the Pokemon. I had the cards, all that, the booklets. I wish I kept them. I threw the mugs away. But if I kept them, they probably worth hundreds of thousands now.
Oh, people are selling them. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Selling them?
Yeah, I don't know if you remember the hopefully Oreos are still around. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time it seemed like segregation and integration worked was with Oreos. But they used to make like the Pokemon movie like Oreos, and they used to have like Mew on like the outside, like the cookie part, right? Them things are selling for 100 bones.
100 bones?
The cookies, they just selling for 100 bones. They just selling for $100 just for the cookie. Not even kidding. There's people on Facebook Marketplace selling Mew Oreo cookies. I wish I was capping. I am not.
It's crazy in these streets, man.
Ain't no cap over here. The hair's out. You know what I'm saying? So I'll can I give you an assist? I'll add two Pokemon.
Yeah, add 2 more for me, bro.
Okay, I got you. So we'll throw in a Gyarados. Okay, that's 5. And then we'll throw in, let's see, we gotta get somebody. You know what? We'll throw in Meowth because he just gives me that Chris Tucker vibe. You know what I'm saying? He seems like he's from the hood, so he feel like he knows how to get it. He got the gift of gab and gift the jab. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that.
For sure.
I feel like that'll get the job done. So yeah, I think so. One of the things that, like, one of the reasons I asked you on here today, and, you know, I know that you have your own podcast, and I've seen that, you know, you've kind of like tackled these different issues. But me personally, I'm like, I've been following Aaron for a couple of years, been Facebook friends with him for a couple of years, but I don't really know this brother. So if you don't mind, my brother, if you can go back as far as you can remember, tell me about the early development stages of a young Aaron Patterson.
Dang. Shoot. So I was a church boy, technically. Like, so growing up, my mom was like that. Hell and fire, brimstone, running around the pews, blowing shofars. So my mom was like Christian to the core. And my pops, he was a Christian as well, but he wasn't like living like that back then. So I always had this warped view of like, okay, Christian is like my mom and her friends, white people, and corny people. That was my view of like what Christian meant. So I never really fit in with it. So when I was younger, I gravitated towards like sports and music. Like I started rapping in, I think, 3rd grade. I remember looking at Lil Romeo and Bow Wow on the screen. I was like, I want to be like them. So like, I don't take any Bow Wow slander. There will be no Bow Wow slander near me because Bow Wow is the reason I'm here today, y'all. Because Bow Wow is a rapper. So yeah, I've always been like creative, and I've always been like, I don't want to say the life of the party, but I moved around a lot because my family was homeless as well. So there was a period we moved around to like 6 different towns in 3 years. And every time I went to a new town, I got with the cool kids within like a month because from kindergarten, people just kind of gravitated towards me. I used that for evil before with women and influencing people in the bad way. But now I see that God gave me a gift to just have like, what's what I'm looking for? Favor with people. Like everywhere I went, I had favor on my life. Like, and it's not me. I think it's because my mom was a praying mom. So early years, bro, I was a good kid. I played sports. I did music. But of course, around 6th, 7th grade, that's when I started going down the wrong path. I hanging out with the wrong kids. They good kids now, but the weed, the drugs, all that. So the typical, I don't want to say typical black man story, but low key, I lived the typical black man life, like in and out of some stuff. But yeah, the drugs, selling drugs, the womanizing, all that. And it led me to like giving my life to the Lord. But early me, I say I was innocent and pure, bro. That's the word, like innocent and pure. And since I got saved, I feel like God gave me my innocence back and like that purity. But yeah, even back then, I just loved people. I love being around people. I love making people smile, laugh. That was like me from kindergarten. I was the class clown. And my mom would tell me stories about how teachers would want to kick me out of school, but they liked me so much. Like, Aaron's a joy to have around. He's just a terror. So Now I use all this stuff for good to try to influence people towards Christ. But back then I just used it all for me. And I found my identity in like people liking me and being the cool kid, if that makes sense. That's a little bit of, you know, the background, but yeah.
No, I got you. There's something that you said on top of the fact that you said there will be no Bow Wow slander. We'll leave Shad Moss alone. We'll leave Shad Moss alone.
No Bow Wow slander.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's a little bit of bias coming out of you because you in the A. So I mean, like I'm gonna let you ride. I'm gonna let you ride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're a guest. So one of the things that I'm curious about is when you talk about, I would say like there was a shift. I would say like when you got to like, I would say like the adolescent stages. Can you talk a little bit about like that? I would say like you said that you gave your life to God, but like what was it for you? Like, was it like a song? Was it like a bad breakup? Was it, I'm not sure. Like, can you speak to what made you want to? Because I mean, God can change our hearts, but we have to want him. What was it that made you want to give your life to Christ?
Bro, that's such a loaded question. Because for me, my mom was preaching to me my whole life. So even when I was wilding out, I would hear my mom in the back of my brain. Like I would go far, but never too far, because it was like I could hear my mom was watching me. So my whole life, I said a new song I just dropped. Like I heard of God all my life, but we didn't meet. Because like my whole life, I heard about God and I believed in God. But a lot of Black people, if I'm being honest, we grow up believing in God. We just don't live for him. So I believed in God like my whole life. I believed in him. I'd be in the blunt rotation like, hey, bro, you know, Jesus love you. Now that was just me. Like like, hey, bro, he got a plan for you. Like,
no.
I was that guy. But and then my first year after freshman year of college, I was with the homies. I ended up getting arrested. This is like I was 19. I got arrested and I was in that jail cell, and that's when God spoke to me. I feel like he spoke to me for the first time. He's like, "Are you ready to live for me now?" And I was like, "That got to be God," because I don't even talk to myself like that. You know what I mean? So that started the trajectory. From when I got arrested, I stopped selling drugs and I stopped drinking. So for me, when people try to get people saved overnight, I'd be like, hey, I'm not saying God can't work like that. But for Aaron Patterson, it was literally a process. So from then I was like, I stopped smoking and drinking, but I was still sleeping around and I was still getting high as a kite. So this continued for another 3-4 years. But as I was not doing that, I started spending less time with my friends, and I started going to church. But I would sit all the way in the back row, and I wouldn't hang out with nobody. I'd leave during altar call. I'm like, I want to hear the word, but I don't want to hang out with you church people because y'all still corny. You know what I mean? So it was like a slow trajectory of me going to church every Sunday, but still living my life. So I was lukewarm. This time I was lukewarm, which is better than, I mean, I guess it's not better than being all the way cold, but I was trying. You know what I mean? So what led me to actually like really give my life to God was, at this time I was rapping in the world and I was getting traction. I opened up for Kendrick Lamar, some other people, and I was like doing my thing, like in my city in Attleboro, Massachusetts, where I'm from. I was doing my thing. So, but I put out a music video. I was used to getting like 30,000 views and stuff, and the mug got like 500 views or something. And bro, I was hurt. I was depressed. I was like, yo, why am I even here? Because I found my identity in my gift. My whole life, my identity was in my gift and my talent and what people thought about me. So for some reason, again, God spoke to me this moment, and I was like, you know what? Bump rap. I'm gonna get this God thing a try, because like I was ready to, I wasn't there mentally. So I deleted all my social media. This is before this, I even knew this was a thing. Deleted all my social media. I stopped editing videos. I stopped recording, and I opened up the Bible at Genesis, and I just started reading. And I tell you this, bro, I heard one of my friends posted a Tamala Mann song called "Take Me to the King." So that's the only Christian song I ever heard besides Kirk Franklin. I listened to "Take Me to the King" for 3 months straight on repeat, and I would just cry in my room reading the Bible. It was "Take me to the King." And one thing led to another. I ended up in Atlanta at ministry school, and that's when so that was 6 years ago. Yeah. almost 6 years ago, I came to Atlanta for ministry school, and I just hit the ground running, bro. I was like, I'm gonna do this God thing for real. No more sex, no more immorality, no more drinking. I mean, no more smoking. I gave everything up cold turkey when I came to Atlanta, and I ain't been perfect since then. You know what I mean? I've backslid a couple times, but overall, bro, I've been like on this Jesus gang, bro, for 6 years now, because I done been there before, and I ain't going back. I've seen too much, been through too much to be like, God is so real, and he spared me for 26 years, so now I'm gonna do the next 60, like being sold out. Like, so that's long story short, but yeah, for sure.
So what I didn't know until you telling me this is you said you're from Massachusetts. What part of Massachusetts are you from?
All around, but I spent the most time in Attleboro. But I lived in a bunch of different, at least 8 different places in Mass. So when people ask, I usually just say Boston, because I'm not gonna be like Attleboro, Mass, man, because they're gonna be like, what's that? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Attleboro, Massachusetts is where I spent most of my years.
Gotcha. I understand that, because I tell people I'm originally from Wichita, Kansas, and for some odd reason people don't even realize that Kansas is a part of the United States. I either get these 2 questions. I'm like, there's black people in Kansas. I was like, yeah, black people were drafted everywhere. That's one, slavery. And then second, like, where is Kansas at? I'm like, literally in the middle of the map. Like we're on the hump of the United States. I promise.
I got a homie from Kansas. So
oh yeah, I mean they have a heavy hip hop scene. I don't think people really like.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because St. Louis is like right there. Battle rap is big in Kansas.
Oh, talking about y'all right near Missouri?
Yeah, we're right next door. Like Missouri, they don't really claim us.
I thought y'all was near like Montana.
No, they don't really claim us. Like they don't allow us to celebrate the Chiefs when they win, but like,
oh, for real?
But then they come to like our Jayhawks game.
Hold on, so is Kansas and Kansas City 2 different places?
Yes, Kansas City is the city in Missouri, but Kansas is a state itself. It's weird. Okay. And then
I learned something new today.
Yeah, and then there's like Arkansas, which is really Arkansas. I don't know. It's weird. I don't feel like getting into that. That's a can of worms right now. But I am curious. Because I met a couple of people. All good. I'm curious though. What was life like for you in the state of Massachusetts? Like, what if you could speak to like the environment of what that was like for you? How did that influence you to become who you are today?
Great question, bro. Massachusetts is like, it's weird. Like, it's not New York, but we're like New York's little brother, basically. So it's like, you could think of New York like how rude people are, how it's like every man for himself. Massachusetts is like, we're like the little brother. But for me, the part that I lived in, bro, I grew up around every single culture. So black, white, so I've had experience with every single nationality. So it's a blessing now, because now when I do what I do is I'm not a public figure. I don't like using that word, but now that like I'm in the business of like people, I've been around every type of person you could think of. So now when I meet somebody, I'm like, oh, you're Jerry. You're about, like, I already met you before. Like, I'm meeting you. You're just the same person in a different body. But where I was from, bro, it's like you could get caught up in either way. It's like it's real drug heavy. I wouldn't even say it's the hood, bro. I'm not gonna cap like I'm from the hood. Where I lived was a city/suburb, but everybody from the hood would come to where we lived. So it ended up just being like crime and drugs, and people were gang members. So it was the weirdest thing ever, where it's like, my parents would be confused, because they was like, Aaron, we ain't raised you like this. Why are you wilding out? Why are the cops bringing you home? I'm like, Mom, all my friends is hood. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but these people gravitated towards me, and now I'm this way. But I say all the time, like, I chose that life. It didn't choose me. I chose a life of crime. Like, I ain't have to do that. I didn't have to live this way, but I feel like I chose it, and it chose me in some ways. And yeah, I got a lot of homies who overdosed, they ain't make it out, been to prison and all that. So like, sometimes I got survivor's guilt because I feel like I got all these blessings and I don't deserve them. But yeah, man, where I came up from, it's an interesting place. Like, I'm gonna do a film about it one day because I'm into film and stuff. So I want to tell the story of like a small city having big dreams and all the different type of personalities. Like where I grew up in could prepare you for life because you would have seen every type of person, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel you. And it's funny you use the term survivor's guilt because, like, for me, especially like as a black man that just survives and lives in this country, I don't think people really understand. So can you break down, like, I guess to the best of your ability, what survivor's guilt is, and like dive in a little deeper on like what that means to you?
Shoot, survivor's guilt, for me, it's like you feel bad for having what you have. So it's like, I look at it like I had two parents. Granted, my dad wasn't around, but the fact that I even had two probably gave me a better chance to be who I am right now. So sometimes I ask myself, like, dang, Aaron, if you was like really in like the hoodest of the hoods, would you even think like this? Would you move like this? Or would you be like some of your homies who aren't like or products of their environment? So like, dang, like, okay, I had a Christian mom and my mom wasn't Christian and poured into me like that, would I have became this man? So I have these type of questions. Like, I feel guilty for some of the blessings I have, but then on the other hand, I'm like, bro, ain't nobody gave me nothing. Like, so like what I do have, I work for. And they didn't make the clothing line, they didn't print the hoodie, they didn't hustle, they didn't grind. So it's like this mixture of being like, you know what? Like, I didn't have a silver spoon, like I wasn't rich. I had to work for everything I have, but there's people I know that had it way worse than me and they're not in my position. So sometimes I'm just like, I want to bring everybody with me. And sometimes I'm like, dang, I might give too much because it's out of fear. Like, dang, man, I feel bad that I have what I have. And that's something the Lord been working on me with, because he reminded me, like, Aaron, like, I'm the gift giver. So if you feel guilty for what you have at this level, I can't make you rich, because you really gonna feel bad. You really gonna feel bad if you can't wrap your head around, like, you're chosen. Like, I chose you. Like, Aaron, you're chosen. Not meaning these people aren't, but there's like a specific call and plan I have on your life that person couldn't fulfill. So you're gonna have to get used to being blessed. You're gonna have to get used to feeling uncomfortable. Like, why are people watching me or paying attention to me? That's something, like, I hate attention. It's the weirdest. I hate it. But God's been showing me, like, that's false humility. You hate it because for whatever reason you hate it, but it's like you got to get used to that, Aaron, because I want to give you more. So you got to work on that survivor's guilt inside of you, because I can't bless you if you're just going to drop the ball. I'll give it to somebody else who's going to honor it. So to me, low-key, survivor's guilt is like not appreciating what God has been doing in my life. That's something I'll be battling with. Like, give it to somebody else, Lord, but why me? Like, why did you give it to me? Like, my homie started clothing lines, and why'd I sell 1,000 hoodies? You know what I mean? Like, little stuff like, and I don't think I'm special, but I put it out, and this God put his hand on it, and people gravitated towards it again. And I'm just like, I'm not the most skilled, the most eloquent, I'm not the most anything, but just time and time again, I see God just like put his hand on me, and it's uncomfortable. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
No, I feel you, because it's I heard AI, Allen Iverson, for those that are uncultured. I'm sorry. He said, like, you know, what's wrong with being you? You know, you out here disrespecting God, looking at somebody else's life, trying to take theirs, and then you're trying to give your life to somebody else's. You know what I'm saying? We all have a role to play. That doesn't mean that, like, God picks somebody to be a miserable person or God picks somebody to be successful. It just means that we're all in these different, like, I would say, like, positions to play this different roles in our lives. But it's very easy to think when looking at somebody else's, I wish I could give them what I have. But God's like, I gave that to you so you can use it for my glory. So it's like, it's that you want to be humble and recognize that he gave it to you when he could have gave it to somebody else. But then it's that acceptance, that false humility that you spoke of, you know, I think it's I forgot what John Bellion said. He said being over humble. I think he said like over humble is a corny way of being arrogant or something like that. But
Ooh,
I think like
that's deep.
but it's the truth though, because it's like you think that you know more than what God has intended for you with that mindset. So it's like you gotta keep that place of humility, but you have to keep that place of acceptance, because if you don't accept what God's trying to do in your life, then you won't accept anything. So it's I definitely get that. I feel that when you break down like what survivor's guilt means to you. Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
So my next question is you know, people know you as an artist, people know you as a lyricist. Can you tell me about what made you catch the music bug? You know, it's one thing to be a consumer of it, but to contribute to the consumption, what was that for you that made you want to get into it?
Shoot. For me, it was, again, it's always just been people for me. Because even like before because I didn't start taking music serious, like putting out projects until my freshman year in college. But you guys, any of my homies in high school, I'd freestyle battle. We'd be at camp. They'd be like, yo, Aaron, rap. I'd be at parties rapping. I guess I just love like the energy of people. So it was just something I fell in love with, where it's like, this is in my head. Like, people love you or people admire you for what's in your head. And I'm just like, bro, I got ADD. So I'm not smart. I'm just creative and like resourceful. I'm not gonna say I'm dumb, but I know that I'm not book smart. But what I am is I'm creative. I study. I peep game. I'm resourceful, and like I apply what I learned. Like I apply what I learned. I'm consistent. So when I seen like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here with the beat. I'm gonna rap it. I rap it to my friends like, yo, that's fire. Or I put out my first time putting out a song. I put it out for my whole town, and everyone's playing it in their cars and they bumping it. I was like, oh, I think I got some. Because I look at it like with anything, bro. If the people around you aren't rocking with it, then you don't got it. Because your friends and family, even if you're trash, are still gonna gas you up. They still go gas you up. It's like, oh, bro, you're dope. So it's like I realized when I just put stuff out, the people closest to me was like, yo, you got some. I was like, okay, let me keep going. You hear my baby crying? I'm sorry.
Look, man. I already told you before we got started. Like, look, anybody that gets disgusted by the sound of kids ain't never been around no kids. You good, dog? It's all good, all good over there, man.
But yeah, that's what gave me the bug. Like, just doing it and seeing the people react to it, let me know I should keep going. Like I was like, okay, I got some because I put it out and they was like, yo, I want more. So I just kept going and kept going.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Who would you describe as, you say that people was I guess like something like push you to get into it, but who would you describe as like your biggest influencers? Like if somebody had to say, like, say if we're talking basketball, if somebody had to describe your play like a player, you could base it off of, some people would say Tony Allen, some people would be capping and saying LeBron or Kobe. But like if you had to pick like an artist that best describes like what your sound sounds like, who would that be?
Earlier in my career, I would say like Ludacris, because he was just one of my favorite artists. Like Ludacris, I loved his energy. He was animated, his voice inflections, like stand up, move. I was like, I just love how like he could command the room, and that's kind of my energy. I was just kind of like in your face. I was like, Luda was my dude. So, but now lately, because my style has changed over time. Like people used to say I sound like E40, and I was like, bro, I never liked that because I thought E40's voice sounded crazy. But at one point, I got like E40 comparison, a lot of Ludacris, J. Cole-ish. But now, I don't want to say I sound like anybody. Like I'm finally in my pocket. But if I had to say a rapper, like I love Rod Wave right now. He a secular artist. Don't crucify me, y'all.
Oh no, I listen. Look, bro. In my sad boy hours when I'm eating hot wings, and my sweatpants, I definitely throw on some Hard on Ice. Ain't nobody judging you out here. So
Rod Wave is that dude, bro. But so yeah, now it's hard. I don't know who I compare myself to now, but when I've I got a little bit of Luda, a little bit of J. Cole, a little bit of Raw Wave. But I try to bring like the energy. I feel like that's what mission in music. People try to be too cool. And that's what I also loved about Luda was he was a clown in his videos. And he just because he wasn't a gangster, but he wasn't sweet. He would beat you up if you step. So I'm like, that's me. I'm not a gangster, but I'm not sweet. I'm not gonna act like I'm the hardest dude out, but I will. I would fight you. I used to do certain stuff, but I'm not a gangster. So that's why I always resonated with that, especially people like Kanye and stuff, because I was like, they being themselves, but like they not sweet, and that's kind of like that's me. So I would even say maybe a style is more like a. Try to how I carry myself is more like backpackerish. I'm probably not even making sense, but yeah, I can't describe the style honestly. But yeah,
Gotcha.
For real.
So
I'm not gangster, but I'm not sweet. You know what I mean?
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's that I love Jesus, but I'm just not a pacifist. You know what I'm saying? Just like I love peace, but I'll give you a 2-piece. You know what I'm saying? Like it just you need to remind them like I'm just
my homie Cam would say, "Save don't mean soften. The Bible don't make me sweet." I'm from the south side of heaven.
Facts, absolutely. I think Tupac said there's a thug's mansion, so there's got to be a ghetto in heaven. I don't know where Peter and Paul would go. You know what I'm saying? So, absolutely. I'm curious because I've been paying attention to you for the last couple of years, and I always ask this question, especially to Black men. This question. When did you realize, like, obviously you wake up in the mirror and you see your hands and you see the melanin that God has kissed your skin with, you know what I'm saying? But when did you realize not only that you were Black, but what like in a society, social construct, what that means? When did you realize that for yourself?
I want to say the first time I realized it was 4th grade. Because this the first time I got in a fight. I was on the playground and this kid called me wheat bread. He's like, "Shut up, Blackie. You look like wheat bread." And I didn't know that was a diss.
Oh, hell no.
Until my homie Brandon went, "You gonna let him call you that? Swing on him." And Brandon, he's still my homie to this day. He's in my wedding. But in 4th grade, he made me get my first fight. And he was like, "You gonna let him call you that? Swing on him." And I was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be offended?" I was like, "Oh, all right." So I started fighting the kid. I got recess taken away for a week, but that was the first time I realized like being Black was wrong, or maybe like how they, how they make you feel like, okay, like my skin is a weapon, like there's something wrong with me. That's the first time I like realized that like, oh, I'm not like y'all. Like we not all just people. So yeah, I vividly remember that day, like being called that and being like, dang, oh, okay, I guess this is supposed to make me mad that there's something wrong with my skin. You know what I mean? So
gotcha. Yeah. And I'm curious about this. So it's a little story about me. I didn't grow up in the church. When I say I didn't grow up in the church, I grew up around people that went to church. But you can't get, you can't, how do I describe this? You can't get a second hand smoke high into heaven. You know what I'm saying? I was going to hell on a scholarship. I'm just gonna keep it a beanie with you. I didn't get saved until I was 19. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it a beanie with you. For me though, I would say in my early 20s, late teens, because I didn't get saved until I was 19, I've recognized that I would say like this back and forth I had within myself, being a disciple of Christ, but being the imago Dei that looks like this, meaning like with the melanin that God has blessed me with. Can you talk to me a little bit about what, how difficult it can be to nurture your Blackness as a disciple of Christ? Also, what it was like for you navigating while nurturing your Blackness in some of these like church circles?
Bruh. Well, you got the good questions, man. That's a good question. Shoot. I can't hear you. Oh, you're muted, I think.
I said my bad. I said I try to do my best to dig
that's
deep.
A good question, bro. Bro. because I'm not even gonna cap. Technically, I didn't get saved in a white church because a lot of the members there were black, but the pastors were white. So my brain is kind of a white church. So
Can you, real quick, I will interrupt you for this. Can you
Yeah.
speak to the dichotomy of having a white pastor in a predominantly black church? Like what the difference is for you?
well, my current pastor, Scott Free, he might as well be black. He grew up in Miami. Like he not black, but like he of the culture. He like the Eminem of pastor. You know what I mean? Whatever. But my first pastor, I still love him. You know, Ron, it's just like he just white though. He's a white guy. So the dichotomy is one of my other homies said it to me so clear one day. I was like, dang. He's like, Aaron, they tricked us. Not like him. He was just saying, when we say church culture or kingdom, what it really is white culture. And when I sat back, I was like, from the music to what we talk about, it's like it's white culture. And there's nothing wrong with white culture as long as it's not racist. But what they enjoy, what they like, it's just different than black culture. Like what we talk about. Black people, we're a little more aggressive. We're a little more, we could argue. I mean, we're not even arguing. We're just passionate. So it's just things we do and say that we all understand. So certain things like racism, and I just remember being told like, well, we don't talk about that. Like, we don't ruffle feathers. We don't want to create division. It's like phrases like that I don't think they weren't, they just were doing what they know. And the more white people like I know, they kind of feel the same way about certain topics. They're like, let's stay away from them. It's divisive. Let's just talk about the gospel. And that, I was cool with that when I first got saved, honestly, because I was just worried about not being ratchet anymore. I was like, I just want to be a man of God. I want to change. I want to be sold out. I want to be godly. So all the other stuff that I was passionate about, I kind of put to the side for a little bit because I was just like, I'm just focused on my heart right now. But once I got that right, and I started going back to like the well-rounded version of me, because before I was one-sided. Like I was all like, sin is bad, which is true, but I wasn't the person you see right now. I was kind of just one-sided and say no to sin and all that. But when I got back to being healthy, like well-rounded, I was like, like I care a lot about race. I care a lot about women's rights. I care a lot about these other things that are gospel issues because Jesus would have spoke on them, or Jesus would have spoke up for these people. I want to talk about institutional racism. I want to talk about these things that are affecting people, but more importantly, my people. And when I was given a pushback when I started speaking about that, it made me, I got frustrated. It wasn't necessarily the pastor. It was just white Christians I knew as a whole that were around me in conversations on the internet. I was like, oh, there's a common theme with how y'all feel on these subjects. And not every white person, but there's a common theme. So it caused me to be like, you know what? I'm done with the white church. I can't. I'm done. But again, I can't be done. My wife's white, you know what I mean? So it was just a weird 2 years since, like, actually 3 years since I was just like, I want to go back to talking what's important to me. So it was a battle. And yeah, like my pastor now being white, like, bro, he's healed. I should tell him this. I haven't, but he's healed so much in me of like how I felt about, I'll be like towards white men. He's healed so much of that unintentionally because he just reminded me like it's not a white thing. It's just a cultural thing. Like some people just don't know what they don't know, and I can't be upset or mad with them because I know they don't hate black people or hate me. They're just culturally ignorant in certain areas, and I could give them grace for that. As long as I know you're not racist and like you like hate me, okay, you agree with Candace Owens. Okay, I'm a little upset, but I know you don't hate me, so I still got love for you. You know what I mean? So yeah, kind of difference. It's just, to me, it's a culture thing. Like white culture and black culture is vastly different. It's just that's what it is. But white culture seeped into the Western church. Like what this culture is seeped into the church, and we still called it church culture, but really it's white culture. Contemporary music is white culture. Like we gospel, but I'm getting saved listening to contemporary. You're a good father. I'm just like, oh, I'm like, so when Maverick City came out, I was like, hallelujah. I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, this is what I've been waiting for.
Absolutely.
I've been waiting for this. My spirit feels alive. You know what I mean?
So it's funny. Somebody texted me. They're like, "Wait, somebody showed up late?" You can. By the way, those are watching. If you want to watch live, click the live button on either Facebook or YouTube. But for those that don't know who Tamala Man is, for my black people, because a black person asked me this question. That's Cora from the Tyler Perry movies. You know what I'm saying? She's apparently Mr. Brown's daughter, even though that actor and the actor that plays Cora are married. It's weird. Just
they know what Tamala Man is.
A black person did not. I'm not gonna put their name on blast, but they did not know who Tamala Man was, and I guess they wanted to text me. But I'm just gonna be passive aggressive and answer their question.
Tell her to look up "Take Me to the King." It's gonna make you cry.
I don't know how you don't know who Tamala Man is, but okay. If you watch Tyler Perry movies, you know who Tamala Man is. You don't even gotta be a Christian.
When she Google it, she see the face, she's gonna be like, "Oh."
They didn't want to ask Google, but they asked me. So I'm going to be passive aggressive and kind of throw shade. It's okay. It's nighttime. So it's not like it's too bad. So one thing that I really wanted to dive in on, because I remember you went through this. I remember you went through this right around the same time. I think like we all as a people were going through this. This was right after the verdict or lack thereof, I would say, of the Breonna Taylor case. You just came right out. I think you went on live or something. This was before like your podcast. You launched your podcast. You just came right out and was just like, don't call me a Christian anymore. This isn't me like pulling your salvation card, brother, because I was there too. But can you dive in a little bit about what caused you to, like, I would say, like, take that stand, share that sentiment, and what was going through your mind at that time?
I'm laughing because like I remember that day, and honestly, yeah, like again, if you're watching this and you're white, I love white people, y'all. One of a youth pastor from Illinois that I rock with heavy, a white guy who he woke, like he an ally. His wife, I love him and his wife, and she checked me in my DM. She was like, Aaron, I get your anger. Like, I get what you're feeling, but that's not showing love to the people. Like, you could be mad at Christians, but regardless of how you feel about them, you still have to show them love and be Jesus to them. And it struck with me. At first, I was like, who does? At first, I wanted to be like, hey, you're white, stay out of it. That's my initial inkling. But when I sat with it, she was right. And when I said, don't call me a Christian, call me a follower of Jesus, because it was really seeing how Christians act on social media. Because I realized in real life, most Christians aren't that mean. Like, they're not going to walk up to somebody like, murderer, you killed your baby, murderer. They just do it on the internet. They think for some reason getting in comment sections and condemning people to hell and saying you're going to hell and turn or burn because you're gay, they think this approach works. So I was getting tired of like my homies, I've been putting in work, pouring into people, not trying to get them saved, but trying to show them Jesus. And then it feels like when they hop on the internet and they see how my family's acting, they're like, oh, I rock with you, but I can't be a Christian. Like, I can't be associated with this title, because when I think of this title, I think of hate, I think of bigot, I think of judgmental, I think of holier than that. There's all these negative terms that people think of when they hear the word Christian. So I was like, you know what? Y'all messing up what I got going on right now. I'm trying to get people into the kingdom to know like Jesus And me calling myself this name is messing with my vibes. So you know what? I'm not a Christian no more. I'm a follower of Christ. I was joking because I know obviously if you believe in God, they're gonna call you a Christian. I can't say I'm not a Christian. So it was more of a joke, but I was really like throwing shots at all y'all whack Christians.
Oh, you were hot. Like
yeah,
I remember
I was
like, and this isn't to mock you because I think it's beautiful when black.
I was heated.
I just remember it was like, don't call me a Christian. Tears in your eyes, and I was
don't call me a Christian, bro. I was like, y'all messing it up, bro. We trying to get people saved. We trying to get people into the kingdom with love and being an example, like preaching the sermon, being the sermon, just loving people, being normal. Can you talk to somebody about more than their salvation? Be a normal person. Eat with them, chill with them, talk with them, and God's gonna come up. Because when someone asks me a question like, "Hey, how you end up in Atlanta?" I could talk about God. Hey, bro, how's life going? I could talk about God. Let them ask you. Let your life be a sermon, and they're gonna be curious. If you're a cool enough person, if you're a real enough person, they're gonna ask you stuff about yourself. And then that's your opportunity to preach. But stop running around with your Bible, smacking people on the head and being like, well, the world hated Jesus too. No, they hate you because you're weird. Like, stop. You're weird. That's why they don't like you. That's why they hate you. Not because you're Christian. And that's what I was on that day. And I was like, you know what? Bump all y'all. I ain't a Christian no more. I'm a follower of Jesus. But all y'all Christians, y'all can miss me with that. So yeah, that's what I was on. I'm cooler now, though. I'm a Christian, y'all. I'm a Christian, y'all. I'm a Christian, y'all. I calmed down.
Not that I was questioning your faith, because I
was.
I recognize that frustration. I was just talking about this earlier, and with somebody else, I was saying, like, you know, I feel like I would say like the old administration. I'm not mentioning his name. You don't have to mention his name. That's fine. We'll just say 45. You know, from 45 getting into office, you know, I've seen how politics entered the pulpit and inseminated the church. I was just like, yo, if this is a definition of what it means to be a Christian, that ain't me. I'm good. Let's just, that ain't me. Like, it's kind of like it sounds awful to say this. It's like when you be like, it's like you'll tell people like, where are you from? Say if you live in the ghetto or something, you'd be like, oh, I live out here. It's like, oh, I'm from Baltimore. Oh, you mean where they got shootings and killings? It's like, but we got baseball games out there. You know what I'm saying? We got sneaker releases. You know what I'm saying? There's more to Baltimore than just this. You would have to like, this is where the art of apologetics is, everybody, is where you have to like show them the beautiful side to the things that people choose to still do ugly in this area, but that does not negate the beautifulness of said area. And I feel like sometimes you have to, when doing apologetics, you have to, as I think it was Paul, if I'm not mistaken, in the Bible, when he was saying, no, God, I'm trying to remember who said this in the Bible, but basically God said, don't call clean what I call unclean. And me just like you saying, if y'all call that clean, I'm gonna be the one to tell you that ain't clean, dog. That ain't nah. You know what I'm saying? So we have
that's real though. I'm calm now, though. I'm good now.
No, you good, man. Black man. Express yourself. You was fine. You know what I'm saying? Nobody like
2020 was a crazy year, bro. 2020 was wild, bro. 2020 was wild. I'm still trying to recover.
Yeah, I don't know. We're still in this Pandemi Lovato pandemic. Kobe died like 2 days after my birthday. There was cocaine alligators in Florida. People were flushing cocaine down the toilet. The alligators is getting high and eating people. Like, it was wild. I was like, what in the world is going on? And then it's like, oh, racism. You're back. Thought everybody was on the page. I thought everybody was on
Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. There was like back to. That's how I was so mad. Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery. It was like back to back to back. It was like. Yeah, it was like I was like, dang, and I was just like, in the end, I should have just got off the internet that year. That's what I should have done. I should have just logged off. I probably would have been in a better space, but I was in too much. I don't even comment on stuff I disagree with anymore. I used to be at everyone's. I used to be a Candace Owens, the Hodge twins, like y'all are like, going in on them. I'm like, hey, bro, Let them live, bro. They try to build their platform.
Yeah, there was cocaine alligators. Look, Google it. Go look in Florida. There was cocaine alligators.
What you mean, like people? They got them high?
People were flushing cocaine down the toilet, like El Chapo cocaine down the toilet.
The alligators would eat it up.
The Colombia Cubana down the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Cocaína was down the toilet, and then the crocodiles and the alligators was bugging, and they had the munchies. Like they went in, they was high. Like they developed kneecaps all of a sudden. They just started roaming the streets. You know what I'm saying? They was in them streets.
Real?
Yeah. Google it. I'm player. I wish I was capping. There's no hat on my head.
Cocaine alligator.
Cocaine alligators. Google
it. I've seen it all now. I done seen it.
You know what I'm saying? So I am curious about this because this is going to segue into my next question. You being in Atlanta and you mentioned Ahmaud Arbery. And I never got to hear you unless you posted like a status. But since I got you here, I think that this would be good to kind of have you dive into. Can you speak to, I would say, like, can you speak to the temperature or the pulse of what it was like? And you live in Atlanta, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Yeah. Brunswick is about 4 hours from where I'm at. About 3 hours. Right.
Gotcha. Can you speak to the temperature or the pulse that was happening in Georgia? I would say after Ahmaud Arbery, and I would say like even just the heat of like the reignited civil rights movement, which we have, people act like people stop fighting for civil rights. It's just no, y'all, no, Panera Bread's closed. Now y'all paying attention. Can you speak to like what that was like for you in your hometown after Ahmaud Arbery personally? I mean, like that, it was right in your state.
Bruh, it was crazy because I don't know if you heard of Hovey. He a Christian rapper signed to Reach. But I never heard of Brunswick, but he shout out the Wick in like every one of his records, like from the Wick back to the Wick. So I never heard of it, but I've heard since I moved here, it was like Southern Georgia is like super racist. That's what I've heard. Like, because right now where I'm at, Marietta, Atlanta, we chill. We the city. Like this is where all the rich black people's at. I'm at. This is where like the nightlife, the strip clubs, all that is cool. But when you go to South Georgia, that's where you're gonna start seeing all the Trump flags, all the Confederate flags, all the crazy stuff. So honestly, where we're at, there was just a lot of like unrest, but it wasn't too bad because we're in the city. But I'll say for me personally, bro, around that time, I was legit scared. Cause this man is not, I was like, bro, so I could really just get killed for just being in the wrong place. Cause I be going jogging. And that's where it really hit me. Cause I go jogging every morning. So I was like, this Negro got killed jogging? I was like, I'm not saying I understand police shootings, but I can wrap my head around somebody getting killed by a cop. I can wrap my head around that. Like him being like, why are you stopping me, officer? Officer, I can wrap, but like he just going for a jog and dudes are trying to be patrol for the neighborhood and he get gunned down. That hit close to me because I was like, bro, that literally could have been me. I'm not saying the cop wouldn't kill me, but at this point in my life, I'm like, yes, master, no master. I don't play that. That's just me. I don't play that because I got 2 kids, a wife. I'll take a L every time. I don't argue with cops. But to get killed by a civilian on a jog, I was like, bro, they're really killing us, bro. It stuck with me, and I was like, I was shook. Honestly, I didn't jog for a week because it hit me that deep. And that was really just what got me anxious and a lot of depression with that one specifically. Breonna Taylor, it hit me. You know what I mean? Like George Floyd really hit me because I saw the video. But that one, I was like, dang, that's me. Like I was literally watching. I was like, yo, that could have been me last week. And so there's a lot of unrest, bro. That's what I would say. There's a lot of unrest. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of, I think we marched after that one. Yeah, people marched after that one too. There was a lot of unrest. So that's why I would say the word, if I could think of anything, was just like unrest and like anxiety because it hit so close. Because you know when you see someone on the news, you're like, okay, dang, that sucked. But when it's like, when it hit close to home, then you start being like, oh, this is real. So unrest, but also that's when a lot of white people, I feel like, started waking up. They was like, oh, they're not just complaining. They see the video of this man getting chased and gunned down. Like, they couldn't argue with this one. You can't argue. They still try to argue about George Floyd. Oh, he had stuff in his system. But this one, there's nothing to argue. The man was minding his own business, and these people took the liberty to go gun him down. And I feel like it woke people up to be like, we not just talking. Like, they really target us out here, bro. Your skin is a weapon when you black, bro. Just being black, it's a weapon to some people. Like, you might as well have a gun on you if you black, because that they view you as a threat. So it's crazy, man. It was crazy for sure.
Yeah, I feel that. It's and then like I've remembered this. I got hype, okay? So like you decided to, I think you dropped this music video, and I remember you were saying something like, one of your bars was to the sentiment of like, stop going to Africa to feed my people or something like that, and you won't even help like my people that live next door to you. And I just remember like geeking, like I threw my phone, and I was like, see, I don't think people realize how frustrating it is, especially like in the social media age. It's like, look, I love God. Look at these starving little UNICEF African children. I just gave them goldfish. But then like their next door neighbor is like battling thoughts of suicide and depression. And they like, get away from me, yo. Get right with God. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I'm like, I don't think people recognize that being a Christian, we have a mutual mentor, Pastor Roy. He says, you know, Christian is a verb, not a noun. You know what I'm saying? It's not really what you're seen doing, but the actual application in doing it. And I just remember that frustration out of you, brother. I was like, okay, he's just pop it off. Like
I put it all in that song, bro. It took me like 2 weeks to write it. I was like, missionaries in Africa taking pictures with your black neighbor hurting, talking, but you don't listen. I was like, because I seen it all. Like, people would run to Africa for a photo op, like just for a photo op. Like, you go travel all the time for a photo op. You're gonna build some toilets. You're gonna do all that. And I'm not saying you're not a Christian, but it's like, you cross the street when you see a black person in your hometown. You lock your door. You clutch your purse. You're afraid of them. But in Africa, you feel safe. But out here, the homeless black person you see, you're just like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, make it make sense. Like, but again, through my experience, I have learned it's not their fault. They don't, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. They mean well. They've just been trained and programmed a certain way. So it's up to us to, I'm not going to tell you how to act, but politely or aggressively wake them up to their actions. But we're all ignorant in some area of life. We're all ignorant. They're just ignorant when it comes to race relations. So this is the more mature Aaron, where I've learned to be like, this doesn't mean they don't love God, Aaron. This doesn't mean they're just ignorant in this area. So help them if you care enough. And I'm not saying it's our job to enlighten white people either, but if you care enough, just enlighten them. So, but yeah, and right now I wouldn't have wrote that song, but back then it needed to come out because it was a hard truth. Like right now I would have said it, but in like a nicer way. Back then I was like, bump it. I'm trying to piss y'all off.
I think for me personally, it's like,
piss y'all off.
And for me personally, it's like you could be ignorant, but then like when the education is free and Google is free, it's like there's a sense of willful blindness. And then like I will push back a little bit on that. It doesn't mean they love God, because I think of that Bible verse, you know, any man that claims to love God but hates their brother is a liar, because any man that hates their brother who they have seen can't love a God who they haven't seen. So it's like it's that as you said, use that discernment and let your life be a sermon, type of walk.
Yeah.
It's just for me, I'm like, I have a really hard time to believe you don't think this is okay. Like, the lynchings used to be a church thing in this country. So it's like, I don't know, bro. It's like, not for everybody, but for those that like, I examine the fruit, I'm like, that ain't God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That one ain't God.
Feel you, bro.
Some of y'all are ignorant, but Google is free. And if you got enough time to listen to what was that? What was Shorty's name? Call them the angels from Africa to help. If you got enough time to watch something like that,
I almost said Betty White, R.I.P. Paula White.
You know what I'm saying? That just sounds like a white name. My gosh. But yeah, if you got time to watch that, I think you got time to just recognize that nobody in the Bible was white, but that's besides the point. One of the things I'm curious about, and I didn't even know, not so much that I didn't know this in you, like I doubted this about you, but I thought that this was dope to see this manifest out of you. You kind of stepped into this different lane when it comes to like your artistry, as Jay-Z likes to say, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. You came out with this, I would say, like, this has become like a uniform to the black sheep in a sense. It's become a uniform for those that speaks to like it speaks to the love of Christ, but it also is transparent in like the realness of the struggle of just being a human. Talk to me a little bit about Break the Cycle, dog. What made you want to come up not only with the name and speak to the significance of that, but talk to me a little bit about what made you want to get into that lane.
Bro, you a great interviewer, bro. You got a gift, man. How you be folding the questions, all that, bro. You got it, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I spent a lot of time talking in class, so I figured I could use the good use once I got saved. I don't know.
Yeah, bro, you got a gift, bro. You got a gift. Yeah, for me, bro, Break the Cycle is like, it's my baby, bro. Like, when at first I wasn't jacking it, because when I was like, I knew God wanted me to start a clothing line. And I was like, when I know God wants me to do something, I get quiet, I pray, I fast. I'm like, okay, God, give me the name. So super quick, I heard Break the Cycle. And I was like, yo, that's corny as heck, bro. I ain't break the cycle. Oh, that's corny. Keep praying, keep thinking. And nothing else, because when a God talked to me, it's like I feel it in my spirit. Like, people sometimes ask, like, how do you hear God? Like, for me, it's like I hear a thought, but when I hear the thought, it's like, it hit me in my chest, and it's like I could feel it. I know it's God. So I felt that feeling, but my flesh was like, I want something cooler or sleek. You know what I mean? Like victory, or I mean, just something. You know what I mean? Like, so. But for another month, I'm thinking of names, and nothing hits me in my chest like Break the Cycle. I go to my wife, I'm like, baby, I can't think of nothing. She was like, that's because God already spoke to you, bro. Like, he already spoke to you and told you what it is. It's Break the Cycle, Aaron. And I was like, dang, God spoke to me through her again. Like, I felt that in my spirit. So I was like, okay, God, you. But then when I settled in on it, and then I realized what it was, I was like, okay, what does this mean to me? And then I started thinking about how, like, my dad, because this is right when I was about to have my first son. And now me and my pops, we cool. Me and my pops is cool now. But growing up, I couldn't stand him, bro. I hated him, couldn't stand, frustrated. And he wasn't there emotionally. He was there, but he wasn't present physically or emotionally. So it was like I had a dad, but I didn't have one. So I realized that shaped me, and I wouldn't have maybe went down some of the paths I went down. I wouldn't have became, but I like who I am now. So it kind of all worked out for good. But I wondered who I would have been if I had like a super present, hands-on father. So when I started Break the Cycle, I was just thinking about being the father I never had growing up, and changing the stigma of what a black father is, honestly, because the numbers are lies, bro. Black men are in their children's lives. Like, I don't know. Like most of the black people I know, they end their kids' lives. Like, so it's like that's a mess. That's a misnomer. That's a rumor. But I want to change the stigma. Like, I want to change the stigma of what it means to be a Christian, a black man. And so those are two things. And I was also saying, like, I want to break the cycle of how people think and how they move, and breaking like whatever your people told you have to think or be like. If it's not of God, you could break that cycle. So I did this around politic time. And I was like, okay, God, what's the first shirt? And I heard him say, clear as day, Jesus over politics. And I was like, oh, again, I felt it in my spirit. I was like, okay, that's the one. Because that's just Jesus over all of this, bro. Like, we arguing left versus right, and people are saying they call me all type of names I never even heard of. I never even heard of Marxist and CRT until 2 years. I'm like, nigga, I love Jesus. You know what I mean? So I put out Jesus over politics, bro. And I tell you, I sold like 70 shirts in like a week. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was just like, dang, God, like, people who don't even believe in Jesus or God were buying the shirt because they were sick of arguing about politics. They were like, bro, like, I want to go back to this. People posting their kids and funny memes. Like, I'm tired of arguing. Like, okay, yeah, Jesus over politics. So that was the first shirt. But then it moved to like this another one, pain as a purpose. That was my second one. And then it got more to like what is really my heart behind it is like, bro, like, we all were created by a God. Not a God, by God, the God of the Bible. We were all created with a purpose, with a plan for our life, but we get in our own ways. We all have cycles. That's mindsets, actions, ways of thinking, things we do that get in the way of being who we're created to be. So it's our job to unlearn the things we are taught, the negative behaviors, the toxic behaviors, the things that are stopping us from being that person. It's up to us to be that change, to be the change. Like, you're the seed that your family tree has been waiting for to break the cycle in your family, whether that's addiction, whether that's fatherlessness, whether it's laziness, even financially. You might be the first millionaire in your family, and that pain that you felt on that journey, you can't let it go to waste, y'all. Like, you got to take that pain and use it for purpose, because everything I went through, the disappointment, the rejection, the hurt, all that stuff, it created empathy in me. It created like an understanding for human emotions and people. So now all that pain, I took it, and now I'm like, I know how you feel, bro. Like, I'm not capping. I know how it feels to be rejected by somebody you love. I know how it feels to be sleeping on a mattress. I know how it feels to be in a van with my family of 6 eating Domino's pizza because they're open 24/7, and we have to drive to the park. We have to drive to the laundromat to eat there because they kicked us out of Domino's. I know what it's like to sleep in a hotel with my family. All these things in the moment, they sucked. The devil used them like in that moment to try to get people to quit. But when you get past that, it's in retrospect, it's like, yo, you strong as heck. You're stronger. So it's like, take that pain and turn it into purpose. So yeah, overall, break the cycle for me, bro. It's not even a clothing line. It's like, it's a mission. It's like a life goal, life mission. Every day I'm breaking a new cycle. Like, when I get over something else, I'm like, dang, I thought I was this in this area, but especially being married, it will show me like, you got so much more to grow in here. Some little as time management. And it's not always deep and crazy stuff. I need to break the cycle of being late. I got to break that cycle. I got to break it. I got to break the cycle of being late. Managing my time better. That's a cycle that needs to be broken in my life. And bigger things. Like, so, yeah, I hope that makes sense. But, yeah, that's my heart behind it, bro. Like, it's never going to end. Breaking the cycle is like, to the day you die, it's bettering yourself and unlearning stuff that's harmful, and relearning things that you need to go on your journey.
Gotcha. This is something that I'm decided to start asking people that are like entrepreneurs, businesses, artists. So if you had to tell me, when we're talking about break the cycle, and I know you'll get this, if you had to pick, like, what is your blueprint? Meaning like Jay-Z, the blueprint Concord 11s to Jordan. What is the, if you had to pick, like, what is the Concords of Break the Cycle? Like, what is that
on the
for
business
you?
aspect?
Like, what is that one item or product that from Break the Cycle gear that you would say is like your blueprint to Jay-Z, your Concord 11s to Jordan? What would that be?
Oh, I think it's the paint has a purpose. Like that, all our designs, it just struck a chord with people. So is that what you mean? Like, what's the one piece that like is the most like what we're known for?
If you want to say that, but if you wanted to say like if you want to say known for, but if you had to say like a legacy piece, like Jay-Z will always be known for the blueprint. Jordan will always be known for like Jordan, like the brand. Jordan will always be known for the Concord 11s, probably first. You think you would say that pain has a purpose is your Concord 11s?
That's the one that no matter who you are, old, small, black. What up, homie? My homie Mike in the building. Yo, Mike a real one. He from my hometown. He another dude that I believe in, bro. He been through a lot, but he getting through. I would say pain has a purpose because I don't care if you're rich, small, black, white, Asian, whatever. You go through pain. Like we're not exempt. Nobody's exempt from pain. I don't care if you're a billionaire. Someone in your family gonna die. That's inevitable. Someone in your family gonna be hurt, and it's gonna hurt you. So this depends on the purpose. And you saying this reminds me, I gotta revamp the design and keep dropping it because I feel like that's like the statement piece. Like I feel like that's my life. Pain as a like that. It just struck a chord with me, and what other people did too. Like I sold so many of these hoodies and T-shirts with just this simple design. It was just the words that like it really like. It resonated in people's spirit and their heart. Like, yo, pain literally has a purpose, y'all. Like, them tests is a testimony. So, I would say that's the staple piece. The pain has a purpose, bro.
Gotcha. Oh. So we're headed towards the end of our interview, and it's time for this portion that I like to call the quick hitters. You know what I'm saying? Where I ask you pretty much either ors. You give your opinions on these things. Don't worry, we're not going to talk about Brother Gavi. We're just going to stay away from that for right now. We don't need to.
Repent!
We don't need to get into that right now. You know what I'm saying? So ready to come engage with me on some quick hitters, my brother.
Let's get it.
All righty. Skittles or Starburst?
Starburst.
You didn't even think about that.
No, on God, Starburst.
on God. It's a spiritual fruit. Starburst. You know what I'm saying? Pringles or Doritos?
Doritos for sure.
Really? You like having a bag full of empty promises in air? Like I like having the container of my blessings to be fulfilled.
Them Pringles just don't hit like that. I'm not gonna cap. Them Doritos be hitting, especially like Doritos be hitting, bro. Every flavor.
Except for like the cool. I don't know what it is about the Cool Ranch. I just can't rock with.
You're right. Cool Ranch. That's the least favorite. But if I got nothing else, I'll eat it. You know what
gotcha. You know what I'm saying? And then if you drop in some taco meat and some lettuce, it's called walking Mexican. I just broke off a little bit of Jim to you.
Hey, that's like a broke meal. That's delicious.
Yeah, it's a prison meal. But
I'm about to try that.
We'll gotta get to that. Pharrell or Kanye?
Kanye all day. Kanye.
Okay, now for clarification purposes, music Kanye and music Pharrell, or
I'm just team Kanye everything, whatever he is. I don't even care if he writes his raps. Kim Kardashian, you made a mistake. He can move on and bump you, Kim. Kanye, I'm team Kanye all day, bro. Kanye.
If I could ask you real quick, how do you feel that slavery apparently was a choice? Can you
Bro, my family was killing me, but I don't want to say I'm a spirit animal, but everything he says, I get it. What he was trying to say was if he was a slave, he would have been Harriet Tubman or Nat Turner. That's what I took from it. He was like, if I was a slave, I would have been Harriet or Nat Turner. And I believe him. If Kanye was back then, he would have been the one trying to lead the revolt. And all he was trying to say was that even Harriet said, if they knew they were slaves, I would have freed thousands more. So even Harry Tubman said it. Like if they knew they were slaves, if they understood what Harriet Tubman said it. Moses. They called her Moses.
I feel you, but
I don't agree with how he said it, but
it's like
I don't agree with how he said it.
I feel like it's like I get that yes, you can remind people that they can be liberated, but it's like, bro, you got here, but not by choice. I don't think everybody was just like, hey guys, be like, what's up, niggas? Y'all want to go and hop on this cruise ship? And then no, it just so the choice factor of being enslaved,
his wording is always terrible.
He's just his delivery. I don't know. His delivery since like graduation, maybe beautiful, my beautiful dark twisted fantasy. I don't know. I just pray for Ye. I don't know.
Oh God, pray for Ye. He needs
pray for Ye. Pray for everybody.
Right
Ye, who? Anyway.
He's backsliding right now.
I never asked this question before, so I'm gonna throw this in now because I know you to be a little bit of a sneakerhead. You know what I'm saying? If you had to only get 5 sneakers, you can name the colorway and the shoe in your rotation for the rest of your life. What 5 sneakers would they be?
White on white Air Forces. You gotta have the white on white Air Forces.
Can you? I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. White Air Forces and Timberlands. Every black man needs a pair of those, correct?
On God, yes. On God, yeah. I was gonna say Tim second too. All
right, cool. Gotcha.
I like the dang.
I know that's a lot to ask for black.
I was gonna say the 11s. Honestly, I was gonna say the 11s.
Which ones though? Space Jams, the Breads, the Concords.
The Concords.
All right.
I got the red Concords. I got the 11 Concords. You got 4 or 3?
3? You got 3 so far.
You said name 5?
Yes, sir. For the rest of your life, mind you. For the rest of your life, you gotta wear these shoes.
I got white ones. I got Tim's. I got red. So I need a black pair. Honestly, them Fear of Gods. The Fear of Gods, bro. Them black Fear of Gods, the $600 joint ones. I would never buy them because I can't afford them. But in this dream world, I get them Fear of Gods.
I know that's right, black man. Like pull-ups are $30. Like, what are you talking about? $600 for a pair of damn shoes?
Right, hey, bro, that's somebody's rent. We ain't paying that for a pair of shoes. Like, nah.
Take that out my reparations check. Then I'll get a pair of Fair Guys. Like, where's my
oh God, I got a couple homies with them. I'm like, hey, bro, you worry about the wrong things. I don't know why you. I know you ain't got it like that. Why you got a pair of Fear Gods on, bro? But hey, it's a judge-free zone. One more shoe. I can't think of none of those, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Gotcha. And
I can't think of none of those.
That's all good. All good. And if you had to pick, this is my last question, because I just had something come up, emergency come up, unfortunately.
You good?
All goody. If you had to pick, and this is season 3, so you gotta give me 3 people for answers. If you had to pick somebody or 3 people you would like to see on the Kid Casper podcast, what 3 would they be? But your answers have to be people you can get on here, essentially.
Have you had Ruslan on?
I got Ruslan on.
Oh, yeah, Ruslan on? Okay. I gotta send me the episode. I want to watch it. I want to watch it back.
I got you.
My homie CJ King. You heard of CJ King?
Vaguely.
CJ, he a dope entrepreneur. He like someone I look up to in the business space. Crazy musician, and he's also a youth pastor at Travis Green's church in South Carolina. He just got like a wealth of wisdom though. So CJ King, I can plug you with him. He the homie. My homie you heard of Big Breeze?
No, I haven't.
He a Christian rapper. He fire. He like from the mud, the trenches. He like the new wave. He got a crazy story and a crazy testimony though. So I think he'd be dope to have on here. I'm trying to think of some intellectuals I know. Another intellectual. Well, I know. I'm pretty sure you got Pastor Roy on before.
Not as a single one-on-one interview, but I plan on doing that.
Okay. Well, I know that's super smart. Oh, I got a homie, Brandon Burke. I don't weigh spirituality, but he like the most Christian person I ever met. But he's from the hood. It's crazy. He has a crazy testimony. Like he used to be Justin Bieber's spiritual advisor. Crazy. It's like next level his story, and you would never know because he's super humble. He was on the road with Justin Bieber for 5 years during like his baby. During that phase of Justin Bieber, he was his spiritual advisor, walking with him through his whole career. I could plug you with him too. He like the homie. But yeah, he's like, he love God. He's smart. I think he'd be dope to have on here for sure. Yeah.
All right, man. That's pretty dope. Thank you, man, for your suggestions. This was a dope conversation, man. This was I feel like I got to like, get some insight on who you are and like your artistry identity and everything over the years. And I don't know, man. It's just like one, it was good to just be able to talk to you and get to learn who you were and everything like that. So hopefully this is not the last time that we should engage. And if you're welcome, I always tell people this is a revolving door. You're welcome back here anytime, whether you have like a book, business, or anything that you have coming up as far as future stomach. I opened up and told you I've been having like this weird bug as of lately.
Hey,
but yeah, all good. My bad. I'm not gonna. Hopefully, I don't Earl on here. Yuck. But yeah, man, this was super dope, man. If there's anything that you wanted to let people know that's going on in the future that you would like to like broadcast and show, I would say like let people know what you got coming up next for you. What would that be? Flow is yours.
Just new merch, bro. We merch. BreakTheCycleGear.com. We not stopping. Got a lot of stuff planned and in the works. And also, I'm working on a project right now. I'm stuck between two names, From the Heart and Psalm Music. So I'm going through two different names I'm working through. I'm working on a new project right now. So new music, new merch on the way. And just music and merch, and just a lot more content. I've been in my content bag. I finally found a way to do TikTok without feeling old. So yeah, more content. I just been like in my content zone in my face. So yeah, man, just tap in with me. This was fun, bro. I really enjoyed this. For real.
Yeah, this was dope, man. Like I said, this week, we'll definitely come back in. I'm definitely I don't know if I have it in the description. I sent it to my SMM. I don't know if she plugged it in there, but I'll be sure to plug your merch. And everything else you got going on. Please, everybody do me a favor. You know what I'm saying? It's Black History Month. Don't ask for a discount. We don't do that. That's it. You gotta, pay in full. You know what I'm saying? You don't ask Nike and Ralph Lauren and all these other brands for a discount. Don't ask my brother Aaron for a discount. You know what I'm saying? Pay the full price. Throw that tip in too, because I know how these Shopify sites work. You know what I'm saying? We trying to build that generational. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that. So
amen.
Absolutely. So shout out, follow this brother. I am Aaron Patterson. If I'm not mistaken, I am Aaron P. Is that your socials?
That's on Twitter. On Instagram is I am Aaron Patterson. On Twitter is I am Aaron P. Pushing P.
Push a P. Not plushy or like pull up P. Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh man, thank you everybody for tuning in today, man. This was dope. We're trying to push the needle. We're trying to open up, seek nuance. My favorite color is context. Push and seek nuance. Try to understand and not be understood as just a culture as we're doing this. Always remember you are beautiful, blessed, and beloved. Raisins still don't go on potato salad. I know it's 2022. We do. Brother Aaron, have you ever had potato salad and raisins?
Heck to the no.
No.
Something's
demonic about that, right?
Yeah, that's not of the Lord.
So you said on God, yes.
That's not of the Lord.
Gosh, raisins don't go on potato salad, and Jesus wasn't white. Have a good night, y'all. Good Lord.
It's over.